Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 female serial killers. In this chilling exploration, we delve into the dark recesses of the human psyche, uncovering the stories of women who have committed some of the most heinous acts imaginable. These women committed some of the most chilling and heinous crimes in history, proving that evil knows no gender. Their actions have left an indelible mark on society, challenging our perceptions of morality and human nature. In the shadowy annals of human history, where darkness intertwines with the macabre, we find ourselves face to face with the chilling reality of female serial killers. These women, often underestimated and overlooked, have shown that the capacity for evil is not confined to one gender. Their stories, often shrouded in mystery and tinged with a chilling blend of allure and revulsion, have captivated and horrified the world for centuries. From the infamous to the obscure, each tale is a testament to the complex and often contradictory nature of human behavior. Join me now as we journey into the depths of human depravity, exploring the lives and crimes of these women who turned on their own kind, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Through their stories, we seek to understand the dark impulses that drive such acts and the societal factors that may have contributed to their descent into infamy. Our journey into the abyss begins with Aileen Wuornos, a name synonymous with both tragedy and terror. Her story is one that has fascinated and horrified people for decades, a tale of a woman pushed to the edge by circumstances and her own inner turmoil. Born in the icy grip of a Michigan winter, Aileen's early life was marred by abandonment, abuse, and a descent into the bleak world of prostitution. Her childhood was a series of unfortunate events, each one chipping away at her innocence and humanity. She was abandoned by her mother and raised by her grandparents, who were ill-equipped to provide the love and support she desperately needed. It was on the desolate highways of Florida, where she preyed on unsuspecting Johns, that Aileen's inner demons fully manifested. These highways became her hunting grounds, a place where she could exert control in a life that had been anything but controlled. Her encounters with these men were not just transactions, they were battles for survival in her mind. Driven to desperate measures, she claimed the lives of 7 men, her weapon of choice, a .22 caliber pistol. Each shot fired was a cry for help, a desperate attempt to reclaim some semblance of power in a world that had stripped her of it. The investigation into her crimes revealed a complex web of pain, anger, and a deep-seated need for vengeance. Aileen's chilling tale, one of survival, rage, and ultimately execution, serves as a stark reminder that even amidst the darkest corners of society, humanity can flicker and die. Her execution marked the end of a tragic life, but her story continues to serve as a cautionary tale about the consequences of neglect and abuse. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that monsters are not born, they are made. Our journey takes us back in time, to the opulent castles and shadowy forests of 16th century Hungary, a land steeped in mystery and legend. It is here that Countess Elizabeth Bathory, a noblewoman of immense wealth and influence, earned her gruesome moniker, the Blood Countess. Born into a life of privilege and power, Elizabeth's early years were marked by luxury and education. However, as she grew older, her desires took a sinister turn. Legend has it that she believed bathing in the blood of young women would grant her eternal youth and beauty, a macabre ritual that defied the bounds of morality. Whether driven by madness, vanity, or a perverse thirst for power, Elizabeth's reign of terror left an indelible stain on history. Her actions were not just the stuff of legend, but were documented in the annals of history. Over 650 victims are believed to have met their end within the walls of her castle, a staggering number that speaks to the extent of her cruelty. Their lifeblood spilled in a grotesque ritual of beauty and madness, a dark chapter that continues to fascinate and horrify to this day. The legacy of Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, remains a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity. From the castles of Hungary, we shift our focus to the bleak and unforgiving landscape of the English Moors, where Myra Hindley, alongside her lover Ian Brady, orchestrated a reign of terror that chilled a nation to its core. Between 1963 and 1965, 5 innocent children fell victim to their depravity. Lured to their deaths, their small bodies hidden amongst the desolate beauty of the moors. Myra's cold, calculating demeanor, captured in chilling police photographs, belied the monstrous acts she committed. The Moors Murderess, as they came to be known, remain a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. Chapter 4. Nanny Doss, the Giggling Granny. Our journey through the annals of female killers takes a decidedly more unassuming turn as we encounter Nanny Doss, the Giggling Granny. Don't let the nickname fool you. Behind Nanny's pleasant facade lurked a heart of stone-cold evil. Over 4 decades, Nanny poisoned her way through 4 husbands, 2 children, her own mother, sister, grandson, and even a mother-in-law. Her weapon of choice? Arsenic. Her motive? Seemingly the pursuit of fleeting happiness and a morbid fascination with death. Nanny's story is a chilling reminder that evil can lurk behind the most disarming of smiles. Chapter 5. Dorothea Puente, the Death House Landlady. Our next encounter takes us to the seemingly mundane setting of a boarding house in Sacramento, California. It was here that Dorothea Puente, the Death House Landlady, preyed on the most vulnerable members of society. Driven by greed, Dorothea transformed her home into a macabre house of horrors. She welcomed the elderly, the mentally ill, the forgotten souls desperate for a place to rest their weary heads. Little did they know, they were entering their final resting place. Dorothea drugged, suffocated, and buried her victims in her own backyard, all the while cashing their social security checks. Chapter 6. Leonarda Cianciulli, the Soap-Maker of Correggio. Our macabre exploration now leads us to the quaint town of Correggio, Italy, where Leonarda Cianciulli, the Soap-Maker of Correggio, committed acts of unspeakable cruelty. Driven by a twisted maternal instinct and a belief in the occult, Leonarda murdered 3 women, believing their sacrifices would protect her son from the horrors of World War II. But her depravity didn't end there. Leonarda transformed the remains of her victims into gruesome household products, turning their flesh into soap and their blood into tea cakes. Chapter 7. Our journey takes a sinister turn as we encounter Belle Gunness, the Black Widow of LaPorte, Indiana. A woman of considerable size and even greater cunning, Belle lured unsuspecting suitors to her farm with promises of love and companionship. Little did they know, they were walking into a carefully constructed web of deceit. Belle's motive was simple. Money. She murdered her victims, often bludgeoning them to death, then collected their life savings, leaving a trail of bodies in her wake. Chapter 8. Mary Ann Cotton, the Victorian Borgia. We travel now to Victorian England, a time of social upheaval and, as we'll soon discover, chilling acts of domestic homicide. It was here that Mary Ann Cotton, Britain's first known female serial killer, left a trail of arsenic-laced bodies in her wake. Driven by greed and a chilling lack of remorse, Mary Ann poisoned at least 21 victims, including 3 of her own husbands and 11 of her children. She collected insurance money on each of her victims, her crimes a macabre testament to the deadly potential of arsenic and the depths of human greed. Chapter 9. Amelia Dyer, the Ogress of Reading. Our descent into the darkest corners of human nature leads us to Amelia Dyer, the Ogress of Reading. In the underbelly of Victorian society, where poverty and desperation thrived, Amelia ran a baby farming business, offering to care for unwanted children, but her motives were far from altruistic. Amelia's heart was a void, devoid of compassion or empathy. She systematically murdered hundreds of infants entrusted to her care, strangling them with white tape and disposing of their tiny bodies in the River Thames. Chapter 10. Juana Barraza, the Old Lady Killer. Our final descent into the abyss takes us to Mexico City, where Juana Barraza, known as La Mataviejitas, or the Old Lady Killer, stalked her victims. A former professional wrestler known as the Silent Lady, Juana's life took a dark turn as she channeled her rage and resentment into violence. Her victims, all elderly women, were strangled with their own belongings, their homes ransacked in a chilling display of brutality. Juana's motive? Rooted in a troubled childhood and a deep-seated hatred for her own mother. offers a glimpse into the complex factors that can shape a killer. Outro Echoes of Evil. These women remind us that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. Their crimes shocked the world and left indelible marks on history. Thank you for joining us as we uncovered the dark tales of the top 10 female serial killers. As we emerge from this chilling exploration of the darkest corners of the human psyche, we are left to ponder the motivations that drive some individuals to commit such unspeakable acts. The stories of these 10 women serve as a stark reminder that evil knows no gender, no boundaries, and no limitations.